I had the best job in the world. For 42 years, I was an 8th grade English teacher. Yes, usually when I tell people that I was in middle school for 42 years, they look at me with pity. But honestly, best job in the world. And for 40 of those 42 years, I directed the middle school play. Best time of the year. Every January, the 7th and 8th graders would line up at the auditorium entrance and already with their audition monologues. And I had the tough decision to make. Who gets the lead? Who's part of the ensemble? Who's better served just opening and closing the curtains backstage? I remember one year this cute little round-faced boy showed up for the audition. He was very eager, very enthusiastic, terribly unprepared. He giggled his way through his audition, but he's a 7th grade boy who could stand on a stage and say words, so he's getting a part in the play. We did a Hercules comedy that year. He played a horse and one of the heads of the Hydra. So the next year, he came back for auditions as an 8th grader, better prepared. And I knew 10 seconds into his monologue that he did from Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, that this kid's getting the lead in the play. We did a comedy Western that year, and he developed this great character. He learned his lines quickly. He listened attentively and absorbed every bit of direction that I gave him. There was something mesmerizing about this kid on stage, something magnetic. You just couldn't take your eyes off him. So the night of dress rehearsal, as all the kids are bouncing out of the auditorium, I called him over and asked him to sit down and talk for a moment. He was afraid I was going to yell at him, and I said, oh, nothing could be farther from the truth. And I told him, I said, you have a talent unlike anything I have ever seen in a middle school kid. You need to think about becoming an actor. This is something you could do for the rest of your life. And he looked at me, that deer in the headlights look. And I said, no, I'm serious. You really do need to think about becoming an actor. You could make money doing this. But don't focus on high school theater. Go to EPAC. Go to the Fulton, learn from the professionals, and I promise you, if you do this, I will be in every audience of every play that you're in. I'll always be there to support you, because this is what teachers do. We open doors for our students. We show them the possibilities on the other side. We give them the confidence and the courage to step through, and then we support them on our journeys as best we can. Well, he did that. He went to EPAC. He went to the Fulton. He went to Broadway. And I held true to my promise for the last 26 years. I have stalked, I have followed, there's a difference, Jonathan Groff. From Lancaster to LA to London and back and forth to New York more times than I can count. I have seen him through television, from Glee and Mindhunter and Looking, through movies, Taking Woodstock, Frozen, Knock at the Cabin, and The Matrix, and through theater on and off Broadway, Spring Awakening, Hamilton, Merrily We Roll Along, and his latest one, the one that he's in now, the Bobby Darin musical, Just in Time. Back in May, Jonathan was awarded an honorary doctorate from Franklin and Marshall, but he was too busy being on stage in Broadway, and then he couldn't go to graduation, so he asked me if I would stand in for him. What an honor that was to stand there on the stage at F&M and accept that diploma on his behalf. But it was an even bigger honor in August when I stood on the stage beside him on Broadway and told an adoring audience that leapt to their feet the story of a Broadway star and his middle school drama teacher. And I read his diploma to him, and while his cast chanted Pomp and Circumstance and draped the doctoral hood around his shoulders, we all, as a group, pronounced him Dr. Groff. Jonathan will tell you that that moment back in middle school, 26 years ago, there in the auditorium of Conestoga Valley Middle School, on his 14th birthday, that moment changed his life, but it changed my life too. I became a better teacher. I became a better director. I became more focused on finding the gifts that our children have. I became more attuned to them, more intent on helping them grow and learn more about themselves. Because this is what students do. They share their gifts with us. They trust us with their dreams. They boldly step through the doors that we open for them. And sometimes, if we're lucky, they take us along on their journeys. Didn't I tell you I've got the best job in the world? Thank you.